there was a time when I received news that I was not fully ready to divulge. The conversation between positive and negative self-talk was real. You know, we have a tendency to go into battle mode and combat everything all at once. Who in here has had that happen? Of course. It's the red zone, the imaginary loud beeping. Our scarcity mindset sets in. Only our energized mind can hear the white noise between the conscious and the subconscious. Have you ever figured out, has there ever been a time that you found out that you weren't taking care of the most important vessel, yourself? Ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you with a story that's remained tucked away in the corners of my heart, shared with only a select few. It's a narrative that has shaped me, challenged me, and ultimately terrified me. But today, I'm ready to open up and share with all of you. I haven't even told my mom. Friends that I've known for the last decade, they don't know this yet. I was in that moment of figuring it out. I wanted to go when I had a solution, not just a perceived problem. So I invite you to have an open mind. Sit back as you hear this for the first time with those that I hold dear to my heart. So that's where my journey began. It was a series of tests that illuminated the challenges I faced. It was a light bulb moment. I visualized myself being that cartoon character with the bulb above my head. However, all I heard was, "Do you know you have a chronic disease?" With questions like, "How are you going to keep your light from dimming? What are you going to do?" Why? I felt alone. Why me? One more skeleton was on repeat with the what, where, when, and how, peeking into my thoughts, being front and center. It was then that I knew I was brought face to face with what I call my gasp moment. It was that breath-stealing realization that life as I knew it had changed. I was diagnosed with a chronic disease. However, within that realization, I knew I had a choice to pivot. You see, this isn't unique to me. We all have the power to change our trajectory and how we respond to our circumstances. That's the it. Pivot, change your thinking, change your reality. You see, I read a lot of personal development books, and this is always one of the key components to self-improvement. Hal Elrod inspired me in this book, The Miracle Equation, saying this: "Since human potential is unlimited, the objective is not necessarily to reach level 10. It's simply to wake up each day and invest time into becoming a better version of the person you were when you went to bed the night before. When you lean in to your level 10, opportunities become abundant and you will start to see success." I was inspired by this, and I said, yeah, I do have the potential. We all have this potential. You are a change maker and only one decision away from that level 10. I was inspired by this, and I really realized that I had to look within me and decided that the change starts with me. After my first round of vampire blood samples, if you've had these, you know what I mean, left me with a prognosis that was not a favorable one. What do you mean I need to rely on a daily dose of medication? So I started my research to find alternatives for chronic disease. Through this, I was online searching for chronic disease. Hey, Google, bloop, bloop. And 30 minutes later, I'm looking for Alice in the rabbit hole. But, it was at that moment I found a webinar hosted by Dr. Alexandria Ching, a naturopath with Ripple Health. I decided to see where naturopathic medicine could lead me. So I had an initial intake client with Dr. Ching, and I said yes to naturopathic remedies. I am no doctor, but rather than taking the easy route of numbing myself to the situation, I embraced it. I decided to not be another statistic of those who avoided facing their challenges, but rather someone who takes accountability for their own well-being. We all want to find the simplicity in the wild realities bestowed upon us. You have that conceivable blank canvas. What's stopping you? I learned in this program, in this naturopathic program, I first learned that nutrition is where to start. I was challenged to eat at least 2 vegetables with each meal a day, start an elimination diet, and take the right supplements. After 2 weeks, my elimination got a little bit more challenging, and my intake of vegetables increased. So far, doing good and feeling great. My mentor Kai with Ripple Health gave me 5 steps and why these steps were vital for my improvement. This is a really important part. I invite you all to get out your phones, open your notes app. Step 1, do not eat after dinner. This is important because our bodies go through a fasting period between dinner and breakfast. This gives our bodies time to rebuild, heal, and burn fat throughout the night. The second is to only eat 3 meals a day with about 4 to 5 hours in between each meals. When we allow for this to happen, the chemical messenger leptin gets into our bodies, attributing to burning fat and digesting food. The third is don't overeat. Yes, we can supersize anything, and most of our restaurants in America overfeed us. What he said next will stick with me for life. Eat a breakfast containing protein. Eating a good protein in the morning sets our metabolism up for success. And lastly, reduce the amount of carbohydrates. He told me that I could supplement quality carbohydrates with plenty of fruits and vegetables. I followed Kai's 5 steps, and I can say that in a short amount of time, I saw profound changes in my health. I lost weight, my night sweats dissipated, I embarked on a liver cleanse, embraced an elimination diet, to then reintroduce foods to restore gut and liver. This was the key in realization. I wasn't supplementing the right nourishment or taking the right vitamins. Finding this out was a big stepping stone to success. For years, I was investing in products that did nothing for my body, so that resulted in a dichotomy. There's an overwhelming amount of opinions and options to look at and to decipher. Back in the day, you would have found me in the supplement aisle browsing for an hour. You have the right to know what's in your supplements. Then I knew I made a right choice to seek out alternatives. But I also had a community of like-minded individuals. I joined the Ripple Health Facebook group, and this was a group of individuals that were diagnosed with various ailments. And we were all in the same program, but at different stages, and reaping similar benefits. The insatiable curiosity. This journey was not just about nurturing my entire being, body, mind, and soul, but it was also finding the information that I needed to. Recognizing the limitations of Western medicine, in my particular case, I decided to explore alternative schools of thought. I delved deep into research, explored myriad perspectives, and sought to understand the nuances of my condition. I've always been interested in Ayurveda. It's a 5,000-year-old medical system. A friend of mine creates retreats, and she created an Ayurvedic retreat in Indonesia. That's all I knew. Everything else was kept secret. So I traveled to Indonesia. I got picked up, drove to the retreat, and the shuttle rolled up to a sign that said Zen Resort Bali. Being welcomed at Zen was unlike anything I had ever imagined. I have a kinship with my friend, and I had no idea that this resort would have helped me in the ways that it did. Each of us at the retreat received a private diagnosis to discuss what ailments we had, if any. Let me tell you, I haven't had my gait or my ability to hold my breath recorded at all in my lifetime. I was just amazed by all the information that I got. You know, we first also started with diet. I'm just about to explain what Ayurvedic restoration is. Spell it phonetically. Google will help you figure it out. The solution I was given was called the Pitta Dosha diet. This is based on the concept of the tridosha, the 3 diets in Ayurveda: Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. I got knowledge about the foods that I should have, foods that I should avoid, and foods that I should eat in small amounts. Learning this out was really a big stepping stone to success. You know, I had time to pause, learn new healthy habits, and breathe. You know, facing all of these emotions, you know, I had to face a multitude of emotions, from despair to hope. But it was through these experiences that I developed a resilience at an emotional depth. Learning to handle and process the weight of my discoveries, I took another step in investing in myself. This was a moment when I said, why not? When we have a suggestion for better living coming from a friend, we try it. I invested in a Kangen water machine. I realized that ionized alkaline water was loaded with antioxidants, was anti-inflammatory, and boosted the immune system. What I did not know is that many doctors endorse this product. I found a lecture on why this product was recommended, and I was educated on this. Inflammation is the cause of disease. Doesn't matter the disease, they all come from the same root cause. The answer is a natural healing. I was astounded by this information, and those vampire blood results, they showed this to be true. So integrating all of my discoveries, you know, I developed a protocol that was tailored for me. Learning to balance out all my emotions and everything else. You know, I have to thank all of the doctors that helped me get here. You know, I went and saw 7 different of them, all throughout these years to get to where I was. You know, the one thing that connects us to the dis-ease we feel is in how we nourish our vessels. Today, I stand before you from that initial gasp to a moment of greatness, eager to uplift those navigating the intricate maze of chronic illness. Let's free ourselves from the shackles of knowing our pharmacists on a first-name basis and free ourselves and our limiting beliefs. Now go find your blank canvas and paint your masterpiece.